In the next 60 seconds, you'll get 2 shiny new metal albums to stream, but I'll guide you to decide if they are worthy of collecting for yourself in today's complete reviews. Plus, at the end of the show, I'll give you a 3rd metal album from my secret collection too as a gift. Terry here again with another full metal review just for you. And if you like the stuff that is listed next to me, FMR is for you, because I review and break down the newest extreme releases of the week from my charts, so you get new metal every day. In episode 43, I reviewed Profilers, A Digital Nowhere, and Pestilence Solar Clorox, and I added only one to my library. Which one I added? That'll be up to you to check out the last episode. In any case, stream them both for yourself to see if they are for you. So, our 2 new albums for today are Praise the Plague's Suffocating, In the Current of Time, and Throne of Thorns, Converging Parallel Worlds. They're both up for fresh reviews. Let's get started. Before I listen to Praise the Plague's Suffocating, In the Current of Time, I open the page and see that there are 6 strong-sounding tracks totaling 39 minutes. Album cover artwork, as you can see, it's a creepy black and gray that causes you to really examine the art for images within. Custom logo and standard fonts are there as well, and I was attracted to it immediately thanks to the artist album cover. Between the album artwork and the song titles, I visualized something heavy, although categorized as death and black metal and Apple Music. My genre description beforehand is gonna be black metal, but I'll reveal what I think their actual genre is after I've listened to the album and at the end of the show, and I'll compare it to their actual bio. We'll see if I was on point there. Track 1, it opens mysteriously with big, beautiful strings. It builds bigger, then into a melodic, symphonic, fiery rage of full atmospheric feeling number. It's big, dramatic guitars, dramatic bass, fry vocalizations, and percussion works right throughout the first track. And I guess that the race is on at this point. Track 2, it continues with more huge, vibrant, explosive, and mainly melodic blackish metal. Then track 3 keeps the vibe with massive, stormy, melodic sound. Track 4, it's an atmospheric, melodic showcase. It's pure energy. Track 5, it's massive, thunderous, and deep. Track 6 ends big, finally. This band completely understands arrangements very well. Quick summary, this was an immense, passionate work of musical art for this group. You can really tell it is a must-hear for black metal enthusiasts. Black metal, doom metal in that area. I'm going to describe the recording and sound quality as fully professional, clean, full from top to bottom. Production and musicality was, I believe it was highly refined. The energy and intensity was massive. Rhythm and tempo was rangy and melodic and it was varied. The lyrical theme I find here was this biblical astral type of range of storytelling. Becoming a mainstream or radio act here is, I don't think it's going to be a possibility. So I think that all of the metal warriors and the black metal warriors have no fear. This band will belong to you forever. Range and flow and layout of the album is consistent. Tracks are arranged meticulously with care. And quite frankly, I can't put my finger on who they may remind me of, but I'll go right now to ChatGPT and they will say that they are similar to Amun-Ra, Cult of Luna, Neurosis, YOB, Thou, Pallbearer, Bell Witch, Inter Arma, Monolord, and Chemis. That's Khemmis. That's who ChatGPT makes out this band to sound like. I'm going to describe the vocals as this witchy sorcerer, higher end fry vocalizations, while the guitars I describe as massive, clean, and melodic. Bass section was big and present. Finally, the drums and percussion performance was full, rich sounding, very rangy. I didn't find that there was much in the way of samples on this, except for the beginning of the album, samples, sound bites, and effects, and so on and so forth. Lastly, I rate the temperature of this album as icy cold. I gave it a seismic reading of 7.7, and the general feeling I had during this session was chilling. It led me to give this album a very dark tonality shade in the overall color. I could only describe as coal black. Summary, my predictions from earlier were somewhat accurate. I did predict black metal. And finally, I'm going to reveal that my official genre description, it's an atmospheric blackened doom metal. When I went to the bio, it says blackened doom sludge metal. Means I was kind of sort of halfway there, so I'll take that one as a bit of a win. My favorite tracks, every track here was consistently equal. There's not much that I can say. Finally, because I'm more of a rhythm guy, I've decided not to add this to my library, but I can guarantee with such an amazing recording and production, black or doom metal fans will absolutely flock to this. It's an astonishing album for them, and I believe that these guys must be absolutely epic live. So I probably wouldn't skip out on going to see them live if I could. That's review one. Next up, we move to our next slide. Before I listen to the second album, Converging Parallel Worlds by Throne of Thorns, I open the page to see that there are 8 strong-sounding tracks totaling 55 huge minutes. Album cover artwork, as you can see, it's a kaleidoscope of color representing 2 worlds converging. I see custom and standard fonts. I was attracted to it immediately, thanks to the artist. So thank you very much, Mr. or Mrs. Artwork person who did the album cover. My first impression this time, it has me visualizing something heavy. Although categorized as metal in Apple Music, I know that they don't use all the terms that us metalheads use, so I'm going to predict at this point that they're going to be hardcore or maybe a metalcore style band. I'll do that beforehand, but I'll reveal afterwards what's going on, see if I was on point. Track 1, it opens like a movie score and a symphonic splash of piano, horns. It's very nice, very big too. Track 2, it thunders into massive, crisp riffs and its speedy, rhythmic sound, slashing variable melodies back and forth with clean, strong vocals. Great guitar solo work. It has biting, attacking sound. The entire song for the second track is very nice. Track 3, it's a gauntlet of instrumental expression. They have a piano, and they're not scared to use it at this point, and I can tell. They're big, dramatic, and energetic throughout, okay? Next, track 4, it's punchy, clean, and it's got monster rhythmic quality. Track 5 is poetic. It's crushingly strong, mesmerizingly good. Track 6 goes deep, dramatic, and so punchy and clean. Track 7, it's another dramatic symphonic clinic of metal musicianship. It is an instrumental. Track 8 is an 11-minute epic metal finale. It sounds like a cross between In Flames, and it's got some hues of Judas Priest in there in certain ways, but with a huge symphonic production quality, massive rhythm, solos, range, the whole kitchen sink of metal. What a ride in 11 minutes was the final track. Brief summary. This is a very solid, complete band, and I'm gonna imagine that they must be amazing live. The singer actually reminds me of the vocalist from Styx and Europe from the 70s and 80s, okay, way back in the rock and roll days too. The energy here is massive, fresh, punchy, and I bet it will not only meet with the metal fans out there, but also I'm betting that rock and roll enthusiasts spanning over 50 years or more are going to open their eyes when they hear Throne of Thorns. So kudos, Throne of Thorns, if you're out there. This is an absolute masterpiece of metal rock, and it brings it right into 2024. So this is amazing stuff. Recording and sound quality was professional. I find it was pushing the technology a little wee bit there on the louder side. The production and musicality was super refined. Energy and intensity was massively high. I can hear how proud this band is to be there. Rhythm and tempo was immense and rangy. Lyrical theme here seems to be astral. They talk a lot about other worlds and so on and so forth. Becoming a mainstream act here it's a certainty. But remember, I don't have metal or rock radio in my area. I haven't listened to anything like that in a very long time. I believe, these guys could be fire on the radio stations for sure, but that is not a deal breaker here. This is a really, really good band that you have to listen to for yourself. Let's move forward here. Range and flow of the album, it's consistent. Tracks are arranged meticulously. They remind me of a super punchy modern version of Styx or Europe from the 70s and 80s. But realistically, I would place them in the Nightwish or Dream Theater range. ChatGPT, I didn't like what they had, so I'm not even going to go there with them. What they said didn't seem to, they're not perfect. I describe the vocals here as clean, strong, and the vocalist is gifted. He sounds great. The guitars I can only describe as sweet with tons of bite. Bass section, again, sweet, deep, big, and bubbly. Finally, the drums and percussion performance was sweet, okay? They have a whole gamut of all kinds of different sounds. There's piano, there's strings. I even think I heard like instruments that are from Oriental instruments. I'm surprised that there's not banjo in this. Okay, it's really, really good and well done. General feeling I had during this review was electric chills right through to the bone. It led me to give this album a lighter tonality shade, and the overall color was spicy red. Lastly, I rate the temperature as ultra hot. Seismic reading, I'm going to give these guys an 8.2. And I think I'm going to talk about this one at the dinner table for sure. Summary, my predictions from earlier were quite solid. I did use the term hardcore, and finally I revealed my own personal genre description. I'm going to call them hardcore power metal. That's about where I can go with that. The official bio, when I opened it up, it says melodic power metal. I kind of held my own there, but not 100% perfect. My favorite tracks, there's no duds here, but the final track was absolutely epic. These guys know how to arrange their tracks for sure. It went into my library just before I actually got on to do a video. This is a must-hear, beautiful band. My short review here cannot do them justice, so please stream them for yourself, okay? So, that's it for another episode of FMR. I'm going to dig into my treasure chest here, and I'm going to recommend Currents, The Death We Seek. That was from 2023, and this was a very highly rated album. I'm going to send it out just for you. If you haven't heard Currents yet, this one is a must-hear. Currents, The Death We Seek from 2023. Just to say thanks for hanging out with me today. And that is it. Friends, remember to support your favorite metal artists. Stream them, engage them on social. Buy the merch. See them live if you can. Join me again soon for another episode of FMR. And finally, please hit that subscribe button because metal music matters and I want to help. Set up your notifications so you can get your new album recommendations here first. You guys have a tremendous Monday night. Cheers.